welcome to Seniors Say the Darndest Things. So before we start, here come the kids. Hello. Welcome to you. Good to see you.
Hi.
So Alicia and I are going to do a little bit of trivia. And the trivia is about Art Linkletter. I think everyone knows who Art Linkletter was. Alicia now knows, as of yesterday. And why Art Linkletter? Because he started Kids Say the Darndest Things. So, we're going to go through some questions, and Alicia has some candy for those who get the answers right. Okay, question number 1. In what country was Art Linkletter born?
Hard question.
It is...
What? Canada?
You got it!
There you go. Share.
Now, the second question gets a little bit tougher. In what city in Canada?
I'll give somebody else a chance.
Toronto?
What?
All right, here, Toronto.
That's not what. This is a tough one. I just like the way. No.
Ontario.
Montreal.
How about Moose Jaw? It says Saskatchewan. I get that candy there.
You do. You give candy.
Okay, so in 1944, he became MC for a radio variety show. What was the name of that show?
What's my line?
What's my line? No. Did you have your hand up, Elda? No.
Ted Mack? Is it Ted Mack?
Ted Mack?
No, he was the MC, radio variety show, started on, radio. Migrated to TV. The second word is party.
House party.
House party, there we go.
But I would think more.
In 1934, he earned a bachelor's degree from what is now San Diego State University. What was his major?
Math.
Math? No.
Science.
Science? No. English? Closer.
English.
Communication.
Communications? No. What?
Literature.
You're getting close.
Do we have any teachers here? Teaching. His major was
We'll
teaching.
give the teachers
But
candy
he
for
got,
that
but he got sidetracked. He got a job at a radio station, and the rest is history. So this is a good one. Linkletter declined the opportunity offered by a friend to invest in that friend's project due to his doubts about its success. Who?
Walt Disney.
That's right, Walt Disney. As it turns out, he did help Disney promote his theme park, and in return, he was given the rights to a concession there at the park, so he did end up making some money. Okay, in the late 1950s, he became a major investor in and promoter of a toy manufactured by California's Wham-O Toy Company. What was that toy?
Hula hoop.
Oh, hula hoop.
Whoa, yes!
What was it?
Hula hoop. The hula hoop. Okay, we've only got 3 more. The 1960s version of a popular Milton Bradley board game had Art Linkletter as a spokesman, included his likeness on a playing piece, and on the cover of the box. What was the board game?
Monopoly.
Easy one. Not Monopoly. Not checkers.
How about Chutes and Ladders?
Play-Doh.
Not Chutes and Ladders. It had little cars on it.
We have a guest over. Life.
Not Scrabble, but I heard life. Who said life?
Yeah, there we go.
We got a tie.
$100,000 bill. Okay, he was known for having one of the longest lasting one of these in the entertainment business. What was it?
Talk show.
Rin Tin Tin.
Longest lasting one of these in the entertainment business.
Variety.
Johnny Carson.
His marriage. 74 years. Okay, last one.
Who was it? Somebody win?
No. So, there is a place in Springfield that is named after him.
Naismith.
What?
Naismith.
No, the Art Linkletter Nanatorium.
There we go! So, just as an aside to that, he applied to Springfield College in 1929, but didn't have the money to pay for it. So he was always wanted to be connected to Springfield College, and eventually was awarded an honorary degree, and made the offer to fund the pool, and I believe there's an entertainment or venue there, a theater venue.
Do you know why he did that? His son committed suicide, and he believed in the mind, spirit, and body theme of Springfield College, and that's why he did it.
Whoa, oh my gosh, that I did not know.
So Ed, you should get a candy.
You got a candy.
You should get a candy for your performance.
Yay! Okay, so that ends trivia, but we do have some instructions.
Yeah. So, if you look over to my right, you will see signs being held up. Applause, yes, when you see the applause sign go up that high, you need to make your applause really, really loud. Woo! All right, if you see it lower, it's a very dignified applause. So let's try it. Yes, perfect. You guys are so good at this. All right, and then we also have oohs and ahs. Oh, not who. Ooh. So let's hear it. You're all hired. All right, so we're gonna get started, and I'm gonna turn it over to our podcast.
All right, is everybody ready to get started? We're doing this just like an old-time radio show here. So, all right, so I'm gonna get things started here. Hello, and welcome to the Stories from the View, a podcast from the Pleasant View Senior Center in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. On this podcast, we invite East Longmeadow people to tell us their stories about their lives and events. And today's guests are the Mountain View Elementary School Spirit Squad. And we have a panel here of people from the Pleasant View Senior Center. We have Larry Wood, Pat Bazell, Rich Lyons, and Sandy Little. And here is your host, Mary Genowan Kaplan.
Polite applause. Thank you, Eric, and thank you all for coming, and especially the Mountain View Spirit Squad. For those who may not know, the Mountain View Spirit Squad is an enthusiastic group of grade 3 to 5 students from the Mountain View Elementary School. As role models in our academic community, they plan our whole school spirit programs, as well as community service activities. Let's hear it for the Mountain View Spirit Squad. I'm going to introduce the Spirit Squad to you, and they will stand as their name is read. You know what to do. We begin with Aiden Connaughton. Elise Figueroa. Max Conway. Dylan Sopper. Yay! Keep an eye on him, he's on the move. Aaron Ellison. Yay. Stella Penisco. Caitlin Retchen. And Eliza, is it Eliza or Elisa? Eliza Costora. No Spirit Squad event would be complete without their wonderful teachers, Norma Campbell, school counselor, and Angela Shea, 4th grade teacher. All of the questions you will hear this morning have been created by the Spirit Squad themselves. And our panelists were selected for their wit, intelligence, and beauty. I'm doing my best here. Okay, the way this is gonna work, I will call off a child's name. They will come on up to the microphone, ask the question. The seniors, because, we need to conserve our energy, will stay in their seats and answer. Our kickoff respondent is Larry Wood. Okay, Max, go for it.
Out of all the places you have been, where is your favorite?
Thanks. That's a very good question, Max. And I like all of the questions that you kids prepared. It's wonderful. Of all the places I've been to, my best trip was to England. I went to England in 1995, thanks to my son, who at that time was in 8th grade here at school. Okay, and their soccer team went to England, and they got to play against 5 different teams in the south of England. So my wife and I were chosen, luckily, to be chaperones for the group. So we had a ball going to England. We had a lot of responsibility with the kids, too. But in the end, we all had fun. And we even scored goals while we were over there, too. So it was very, very good, and we had a grand time. So that was number 1 trip, I think. Okay, good, thanks.
What work did you or do you still do in your life? Has it been fun for you?
For me? Okay.
This is maybe Sandy's question.
Okay.
Maybe Sandy's question?
Yeah, I think I did the wrong one.
Okay, try that again. One more time.
When you were a kid, did you play outside all the time? What kind of things did you like to do outside?
Yeah, I had that. That was for me, I think, the question. Yes, we did. I didn't grow up in East Long Meadow. I grew up in Philadelphia, in row homes, where we had lots of, maybe 30 kids on the street. So we played lots of games all the times. We played things called stickball, where we just hit a ball across the street, and you could tell if you got a single, double, or triple by how high on the house across the street it went. That's how we knew whether it was a single, double, triple. Yeah, we played games like that. We did a lot of roller skating, too. But we didn't have, you guys are all used to inline skates. They weren't around then. We just had skates with wheels on them. And we went all over the place with those types of skates. And a game that nobody here will have heard of, and that'll be the last game I'll tell you about. We played a game called Halfie. It was a half ball cut in half, and you pitched the ball across the street. And you pitched the ball across the street, and depending upon how high it went or low, that was one of the other street games that we played. So that was in South Philadelphia where I grew up, so right there in Philly. And we played two-hand touch, and we played a game called Buck Buck, where we had to jump on kids lined up in a circle, and then you jumped. You say, Buck Buck number 1 is coming, and you jump on the kids. Of course, our parents didn't like this game because they were afraid we were going to get hurt. So they would jump up in the air. They would jump up in the air and land on the kids, and that was the fun of being in the city in Philadelphia. Okay, thanks. Thanks for your questions. Very good question.
Elise, come on up. With the Halfie game, Larry, does that mean you were too poor to afford a whole ball?
No, we had whole balls too. We
Just
did, and we
checking.
had enough things for equipment. But
Come on in.
What is your favorite movie? Do you prefer...
Whoops, do you have another
Not
one?
me, honey.
Yeah, have to.
Try the other one.
What was your favorite activity as a senior?
Okay. Yeah, I have a couple of favorite activities, but one of my most favorite is, since I've been retired from regular teaching, I was a teacher too, is making music. I never thought that I'd be playing trombone in a band again. So I play trombone in a seniors band that's based in Holyoke. So I make lots of music all the time. So that's one thing. I also sing with the Wilbraham Choral Society, so I do a lot of choral music too. So I do choral music and the band, and that was playing trombone. But the other thing that takes up a good bit of my time, and that I'm very proud of, because it happens here, is Tai Chi. So I've been doing Tai Chi for over 12 years now, and it's just part of my muscles, part of what I do. It's just natural to me now, so I really enjoy it. And if you hear me talking, I sound a little bit different from everybody else. That's because I'm not a New Englander. I'm from Philly, and we have different ways of talking in Philly. Okay? All right? So, take care.
Thanks, Elise.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Larry. Yay! Excellent. Come on up, Aaron. And our next guest is Pat Bazell. She gets the mic. Aaron's up here.
What was it like growing up not having computers or technology?
It was fantastic. Life was a lot simpler then. You weren't, people weren't not knowing where you were all the time. You had more freedom. Life was just simpler.
Do you use them now?
I can't live without it. Most jobs, you have to know computers. You have to have a cell phone. They need to know where you are all the time. Life is different. Life is quick. You need to know a word you didn't hear before. Boom, you know it. You just type it into your phone or your computer or whatever. So yeah, you have to keep up with technology. So there's a pro and con for both before we knew everything and now that we know everything.
Terrific. Thank you, Aaron. Aiden, come on up.
What's my next one?
How old were you when electronics were a thing?
Ancient. How old was I when electronics became? That's a good question. There are electronics that you wouldn't think of as electronics, like a dishwasher. We didn't have a dishwasher growing up, so I was in my 30s when I got my first dishwasher. Different things like that. Phones.
Remotes.
We went from, the rotary attached to the wall. Do you know what a rotary phone is? Well, you had to dial it. Best way I can describe it. And you had to know the number. And then we went to push button, still attached to the wall or to a cord. So I think the first time I got a phone that wasn't attached to a wall or anything, I was in my late 20s, early 30s. And it was this big, had an antenna that you had to pull out, and you had to be close to the phone in the house. So you could take it outside, but not too far. And that was probably my first electronic thing.
Thank you. Eliza.
What was your favorite grade in school?
Whoops. Next question. Try the other one.
Were there any new inventions during your childhood?
Yes, and your first question, 5th grade, was my favorite grade in school, my favorite teacher, and I still use his room number for part of my passwords. Anyway, I loved 5th grade. As far as inventions, when I was a child, what was invented? Well, we talked about one item already today, and that was the hula hoop. That kept you in shape. It also gave you competition with your friends who could get it spinning the longest and everything. And I think that was invented like in 55. Not that I was alive then, but in 55. Also, as a kid, Mr. Potato Head was invented. Did you ever hear of Mr. Potato Head? Well, in my day, you had to use a real potato. And they gave you just the pieces that went into the potato. So that was our game when we were younger. Also invented, I don't know if it was, let's just say I didn't have it as a kid, I had to grow into it, was color TV. Our TVs were black and white, and they were big, but a screen this big. But the TV was huge, little screen, and you had to get up to change the channel. And there were 3 channels. So Cartoon Day was only Saturday morning. So that was some of the things that were invented, nothing like what you're going through as far as inventions. You wouldn't think a hula hoop and a potato head. Oh, and Barbie. Barbie doll was invented in 1959. Barbie came out. So I never had one, but that's when it was invented. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear it for Pat Bazell, panelist number 2. Yay. We're now moving into Rich Lyons' question, panelist number 3, and Aaron's back.
You don't think I talk loud enough?
When you were growing up, was the most used form of communication with others? We use texting, Gmail, and social media a lot.
We didn't have any kind of communication like that. It was all just talking. If you wanted to do something, you had to go to the neighbors. I was lucky. I grew up in a 2-family house with cousins upstairs, and anytime we wanted to go out, we just hollered up the stairway, and if they were ready to come out, we were lucky we could do something for the day. We weren't allowed to leave the block, and because there was no way of communication then. If the parents wanted you, they sent another kid out to look for you. And at night, if the street lights came on, you better be home. Yeah.
If you were communicating far places, how would you communicate?
Just talking, that's all. Going places to see people. And
Did you have a
talking.
telephone? Telephone?
Yeah, okay.
But you, long distance
Yes,
was expensive.
We had a 2-party line then.
Oh, you gotta explain that.
As kids, we weren't allowed to answer the phone because it could have been a call for the other line.
So you and a neighbor shared a phone.
We shared, yes, phone line.
If the phone rang, it might not be for you. Oh, thank you. Good question. Kate, come on up.
What work did you or do you still do in your life? Has it been fun for you?
I was in sales, so we had people would come in to the store for buying things. You had to ask them a lot of questions to find out what they wanted, when they needed it, and that was all talking. And it's the same today for my communication. It's just talking to people, seeing what's going on all the time. Okay.
Thanks. Good job, Kate. Max. Max is back.
What has been the most exciting moment of your life so far?
Oh.
The birth of my grandkids.
We're going to deviate from the script for a moment. Would anyone else like to weigh in on their most exciting moment?
Oh.
You don't have to. I've got them speechless. Oh, Rich.
Does anyone know Andrew Lyons? You do? Oh, that's my grandson. Oh, good. Is he well behaved? Good.
That has been recorded. Andrew is well behaved. We're really glad. Let's have a round of applause for Rich. Yay!
You're up, Sandy.
And now for our grand
Okay.
finale, Sandy Little, and we have Stella.
Do you have a favorite sport? Did you play any sports when you were younger, and do you play any now?
Yeah, my favorite sport when I was young was baseball. I was on a team. I like more playing games though, like board games. We played jacks. We had hula hoop. Now, if I used a hula hoop, it would get stuck and I'd break my hip. But anyways, and we went out in the morning to play all day long. We played until the street lights came on. Then we had to get in the house. That was the rule. We played pickup sticks, Red Rover, which I'm sure you have no idea what that is. You familiar with that, anybody? Yeah?
No, yeah.
No? Yeah. Hide and seek was a biggie, yeah. Monopoly, but that's still around, right? Yeah. And that was about it. Now, my favorite game is chair volleyball. It is a great game. We have it here every Wednesday. Please come and try it sometime, or just watch us, and maybe you'll join us. Mary and her husband Bill, and a line judge, Dave, are brave enough to try to keep us in line, but it isn't easy. But
They're
please
wild.
try to come and play sometime with us. It's really fun. It's the best medicine, laughter, and that's all we do when we play. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Sandy, of course, had to mention chair volleyball. It's required.
Yes.
Eliza.
What was your favorite grade in school?
I had two. Fifth grade was one of my favorites. I had a teacher, Mrs. Dealey. She was so patient with me. And high school, my favorite teacher was Mr. Gunning. He lived in East Long Meadow. And he was just very special. And he was one of my favorite teachers, too.
Did you go to college?
No. No, couldn't afford it.
Thank you. What did Mr. Dunning teach in high school?
What did he teach?
What did he teach? Do you remember?
English and print.
You speak English very well. That's
Thank
good.
you.
Elise, come on up.
Thank you.
And now for our final question.
What's your favorite movie?
My cousin Vinny.
Do you prefer action, mystery, thrillers, comedy, or drama?
Comedy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Great. I am so appreciative of our Spirit Squad for coming. It is always special when they come to the Pleasant View Center. I want to thank our panelists, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but does anyone have any parting words? Larry's up. I knew it. Good job.
I would just like to thank the students who came today. My granddaughter is 10 years old and she's in 5th grade, so I really appreciate that you guys take the leadership and you want to be good leaders later on in life, because you're the future of the United States and all the whole world. You're it, okay?
Excellent. Yay! Okay, everyone else speechless? Take it away, Eric.
All right, well, that wraps up another episode of Stories from the View. We'd like to thank our guests, the Mountain View Elementary School Spirit Squad. And also Also, our panelists, Larry Woods, Pat Bazell, Rich Lyons, and Sandy Little. The Stories from the View podcast is available on the LCAT 1028 channel on YouTube and also on Spotify. We'd like to thank Ed Fitzgerald and Alicia Smith for the audience warm-up, Jeff Teeden and Alicia as their cue card people. Thank you. Our podcast committee of Ed Fitzgerald, Mary Jenowin Kaplan, Jeff Teeden, and our executive producer, of course, is Aaron Kobler, the director of Pleasant View Senior Center. Thanks so much to our great audience for supporting us. Yeah, thank you so much, audience. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Stories from the View.